Fellow nerds, I hope all is well with you. Welcome to another headphone review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a budget pair of headphones called the MPOW Flame. Now, these are on Amazon as of right now for $19.99, which is a tremendous price, but are they worth it? That's what we're here to find out today. So thank you for joining me. Let's start with the design of these things. Now, there's no denying, these look like Power Beats. And I believe that they were made to be a cheaper alternative to Power Beats. Power Beats are kind of expensive. I don't have a pair to directly compare them. I have used Power Beats before. Mine's unfortunately bit the dust, but they're waterproof. They're wrap around your ear. The cord goes behind your head. It has a clip so that you can manage the cable behind your head so it's not flopping around while you're running. These headphones also come with extra ear tips, as you've probably seen in unboxing. If you need bigger or smaller tips, they got you covered so that you can get the right seal for you. While we're on the topic, the seal from the stock ear tips worked perfectly fine for me. I couldn't hear too many outside sources when I was listening to my music in loud areas, so that's a big plus. Now again, these headphones wrap around your ear, so in terms of comfort, they were good. I actually really like these types of headphones. If you're running, if you're doing any vigorous workouts, they don't fall out of your ear, which is a big plus. Okay, so now that we know that the design is solid, what about the functionality? What about the button placement? What about the Bluetooth connection? Is that all good enough to warrant paying 20 bucks for these? Let's start with the Bluetooth. Now these are Bluetooth 4.1, so they should have a pretty good connection, and the specs say that you could get about 33 feet away from these without having any issues with connectivity. Now, in my testing, they were solid. I am glad to say that they were solid. I got pretty far away from my phone. I have this one test that I do at work where I go from my cubicle to the lunchroom and they stay connected, which is pretty impressive in my opinion. I was pretty far away from my phone and they didn't have an issue. I didn't notice any sound degradation when using these from a distance. Now, the battery life. The battery life is rated to last for about 7 hours. With Beats, the newer ones anyway, you're getting 12 hours, so you're taking a hit there if you're going cheaper. But again, these are 20 bucks. Now, I did get the 7 hours of battery life eventually. At first, I wasn't getting that, but after using them for a while, it seems like I may have broke the battery in after recharging it and using it for a little bit. I was eventually able to get that 7 hours, but just keep note that they're not gonna last you as long as a pair of Power Beats if you're directly comparing them to that. But standalone for 20 bucks, 7 hours, I think that's a good deal. All right, let's talk about the controls a little bit. Now, this is an area where I do wish that they would have copied from Beats and put the controls on the cables themselves, but they didn't. So they're on the right earpiece. Now, there's 3 buttons in total: volume up and down, which doubles as track forward and back. And then you have your power button, which doubles as the play pause button when it's on and connected to your phone. Now, the volume buttons are kind of small, and I wish that this is the main reason I wish that they would have copied Beats. There were a few accidental presses, so keep that in mind. They're pretty small, but I did get used to them. I don't think that they're absolutely horrible, especially at 20 bucks. I don't think they're absolutely horrible. They do the job that they are intended, so controls are responsive. But there were some accidental presses until I got used to the button placement. All right, guys, with all of that out of the way, let's talk about the sound, which is the most important part of any pair of headphones, in my opinion. So, do these sound good? Short answer, they sound okay. Let me tell you why. First, disclaimer. I like my sound signature flat, typically. That's just how I like to listen to my music. These are a bass heavy, or they put an emphasis on the bass. And they do it really well, actually, in my opinion. Now, I've said this in previous videos. I think that a lot of cheaper headphones have a tendency to over-exaggerate the bass. And what that causes is for the bass to fall apart at higher volumes. That doesn't happen with these. The sound is consistent across the board, so even if you are listening to these at higher volumes, it doesn't break down. The sound doesn't break down because of the higher bass. Now, there are areas where these headphones are lacking. The highs in particular, I think, are lacking a little bit, but you can still hear them. They're there. They could be better. So keep that in mind. With that said, over time, I did grow to appreciate the sound that these were trying to deliver a little bit more. I don't think they sound as good as Power Beats or any pair of Beats in terms of how they handle sound, but they're not bad at all. I wouldn't call these a bad pair of headphones. I would say that these are good. Now, these headphones do mention on Amazon that they're noise canceling. It's not like active noise canceling, so you're not gonna put these on and there's gonna be a button to activate noise canceling. This is not that type of noise canceling. I think the noise canceling that they are referring to is the seal that you get from the ear tips, which is fine. I guess it's a form of noise canceling, but I think it was just put there more for marketing purposes. With that said, I did listen to these in a lunchroom, and not much of the noise from the lunchroom permeated while I was listening to my music, and I was listening to it at low volume, so they still get a pass there. All right, guys, so in summary, the sound on these are okay. They're bass heavy, which I don't prefer, but if you do like bass, these don't disappoint, even at higher volumes. I do think that the highs suffer a little bit, probably because of the bass focus, but they are there, you can hear them. Vocals sound good. Everything else sounds good about these headphones. All right, so if you're into headphones that supply a lot of bass, I would gladly recommend these to people, especially if they're looking for something that they want to use to work out in. These will not disappoint you. All right, guys, that's about it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Follow us on Twitter @SoundsNerdy. You can follow me on Twitter @CharliePinkSN. If you like this content and you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We do a lot of content like this. We got more headphone reviews coming. We got more video game reviews coming. We have a book club. We have a lot going on. Be sure to check out the channel. Again, thank you guys. I appreciate you for stopping by and watching this review. And until the next time, take care.